Back in the olden days of Minecraft speedrunners used a painfully RNG-based strat called Classic. Essentially, you had to mine nether gold ore to get golden nuggets, which you would craft into golden ingots. You would trade these golden ingots with piglins to get ender pearls, which at this point everyone who plays Minecraft knows about. People don't really play the strategy anymore unless it is as a joke. After about October 2020, using bastions became the primary strat. I can go on and on about how T-Wag is our savior and how their 2204 is the most legendary speedrun on the planet, but that'll be saved for a future video. Now, everything gets modernized, even old strategies that aren't used anymore, and classic strats have gone through a lot of modernization. How? Through a strat called Monument. Monument strats are the modern version of classic. You remember when I mentioned bastion strats, right? One optimization that came with the bastions were ocean strats, also known as hypermodern. Hypermodern was very different from the old resetting strats that were around back during classic. You should watch Firex's video on resetting after this one to get a better idea of the reset standards. But essentially, hypermodern introduced using an ocean, which one thing that oceans spawn with is an ocean monument. Ocean monuments have 8 gold, which is a hell of a lot better than the amount of gold you get from classic strats. The odds of getting a fast completion are much higher than classic strats, as the more gold you get, the more likely you are to get ender pearls and more things the bastions are able to obtain, such as obsidian and string for explosives. One advantage of monument runs over bastion strats is that any good seed you get with it lets you do the fortress while waiting for the piglins to finish trading. Some runners have run this meta and gotten really good times, and today I'll be explaining the monument strats through the lens of a monument world record. For our example of a run using monument strats, we will use the current monument world record by Dylqn. Like in a hypermodern run, Dylqn spawns on an island and uses a dolphin to move quicker towards a shipwreck. He gets 18 iron from the shipwreck and 20 wheat. He uses treeless, where you mine the shipwreck for wood, which is normally done if your spawning island has no trees on it. Dylqn crafts his resources and leaves the shipwreck for a magma ravine. He sees a monument and makes the fateful decision to mine out the 8 gold blocks inside. He looks for a magma ravine and eventually finds one in under 3 minutes. He makes his nether portal and enters the nether at around 3:28 according to LiveSplit. He spawns right next to a fortress and spots piglins, which he decides to trade his gold with. Dylqn is hoping that his 8 blocks of gold will get him ender pearls and string. Obsidian is considered a luxury in these types of runs, and Dylqn uses his diamond pickaxe that he crafted using resources from the shipwreck to mine obsidian. He obtains ender pearls and fire resistance and enters the fortress, finding a blaze spawner at slightly above 6 minutes. Now keep in mind, this isn't as insane of a pace as it would be with Bastion, as it's a monument run. Dylqn presumes that he will most likely be using a strategy known as educated travel to get good blind cords and start looking for the stronghold, which I will explain shortly. After getting his 6 blaze rods, he goes to where his piglins are trading and picks up his ender pearls. He goes through his home portal around 8:30. Now, back in this point in time, calculators were not allowed, so Dylqn used educated travel, where he gets for the angle of the eye and goes in that direction through the nether a decent bit away, and then is hopefully close to the stronghold. He goes through his second portal and starts doing the old triangulation strats. He goes through an ocean and in about 11 minutes realizes that the stronghold is very close. He finds the ocean exposed and he also sees the portal room. He realizes that he could potentially get a new PB using monument strats and awaits the dragon perch. The dragon gives him a somewhat quick perch, and with everything out of the way, enjoy the 1 cycle.
Perch. This would be... Perch. Perch. Perch, please. Come on. Please. Ah! Am I peeping with the monument? No way, man. Let's go. Oh my god. Is that PB?
Dylqn had a final time of 12:14, which is the current monument world record. However, one question prevails. Will the next world record contain monument strats? Well, currently, quite a few players have been trying to get good runs using the strat, most notably K4. K4 has been resetting for Bastion runs and Monument runs to try to get a new PB and possibly a new world record, and so far has gotten quite a few good runs. but still hasn't gotten a PB. The Camo 6 has also done some monument runs, getting a 609 netherleaf using the strat. However, the strat most likely won't get a world record, as not enough top runners are going for the strat and optimizing it to the point where it could reasonably beat Bastion strats and be featured in the next world record. It doesn't mean that I'll never get world record, it just means that's highly unlikely. Anyways, that's it for me. Goodbye, and have an amazing rest of your day.